Hello, y'all. It's 11:39 p.m. still on Monday, December 20th, 2021. So I'm glad that the phone harassment has stopped. You know, I guess they were harassing me about, I don't remember if it was between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., somewhere around there. And I was really angry this morning and last night. So they eventually left me alone. But I hate that they even have access to my phone number. They don't have that right. They don't deserve that. So for it to be a Monday night, I thought all the kiddies were out of school. So you know, I'm hearing seeing like high traffic to be a holiday. Maybe people might be traveling. I don't know, but it's to be almost midnight, still kind of high traffic. But well, last night, I mean not last night. I meant to say this afternoon, I was able to get me an hour and a half nap. And I had a disturbing bad dream, but I can't talk about it. But I had a disturbing bad dream. And I think it seems like it really seemed like a dream manipulation kind of dream, and also seemed kind of like one of those prophetic kind of dreams, nightmares, or whatever. Hold on, let me turn the heat off right quick. So I turned the heat off so y'all can hear me. Maybe y'all can. So I thought I could with the harassing video. I'm sorry, the harassing messages earlier. I thought from on my phone, I thought that I couldn't hear it that good. But then I put in my earbuds and played that portion of the video of the sample of them using my own videos against me in a voicemail, and I was able to hear it almost clearly. So maybe I shouldn't have deleted all those other messages. Maybe I should have played those back, you know. But it's like they're the ones, narcissistic bullies are the main ones who call you childish and tell you you need to grow up. But the thing, or they tell you you don't make sense. But they think that the nonsensical stuff that they do is logical, and you're not allowed to ask any questions or question anything. So I noticed that let me try to get the title correct. The recent live video that I did. Hold up. Wait a minute. Come on, man. Okay. So the live video that the title was "Narcissistic Abusers Are Almost Always Gang Stalkers," and that video seemed like as if it made the perps really mad at me. You know, like they trying to retaliate against me. That the perps are real mad at me for doing that live video. So then, that video I have currently almost 140 views, and I should have screenshot it, but I had 20 thumbs up on that video. I don't know how many thumbs down, but I had 20 thumbs up. And then next thing you know, they put it back to 13 on that video, on that live stream video. So they have these narcissistic gang stalkers and fake TI perps that think that they can blow themselves up or elevate themselves or self-inflate by trying to do a live stream video to shun me and put me down and perp me at the same time in their videos, and then get lots of likes and subscribers and popularity and everything. But here I'm doing just like a general, tried to and was unsuccessful. I might need to do a part 2 or just a video of that's not a live, and try to think of, to formulate my mind to say what I really wanted to discuss in that video. But I talk about narcissistic abusers and gang stalkers all the time, and some other targets do too. And I used to see on Quora that some people would say that their narcissistic lover was the one who put them on the gang stalking list. I mean, as a result of, breaking up with them or whatever. But their secrecy, the Masonic secrecy, is so strong that you don't know who's a Freemason or part of the Eastern Star these days. But now they proudly flaunt off their membership. and people proudly, it's like people are turning away from God just to serve the devil. People these days are turning away from God just to serve the devil, willfully and knowingly, and think that it's a better option. People are willingly running towards the Antichrist. So I'm praying and hoping to not have to end up back on the streets this coming Friday. There has to be some doggone solution, because I don't want to drain nobody of their money or be a burden. I know this is a freaking lot of money to paying $340 a week, and I no longer have that job. I thought I was supposed to this past Friday get another job opportunity or have something this week, but nothing yet. But last week I tried to apply at Appen, and I don't even know if they know I'm a target, but I only got one little questionnaire that I got paid 1 cent for. And then for the past few days, no assignments, nothing. So, at least I tried. But, it seems like as if certain gigs and stuff, like when I had that job with Shift Gig, you basically work when you want to. And with Shift Gig, I didn't realize it was part of the gang stalking that they quit recommending me assignments. And, I'm sick and tired of the idea that people secretly reporting stuff about me, whether true or false. I'm sick and tired of people sneaking behind my back and reporting stuff about me rather than telling me directly. So it seems like as if narcissistic abusers make certain decisions about you behind your back and don't even tell you, like as if your own punishment is none of your business or it's got to be hidden from you. So I'm supposed to have a job interview Wednesday, and I'm sitting here feeling like, after what I just went through, how am I strong enough to even still not give up and still try for another job? If people all around tell me that this and that person is hurting for workers or need people really bad, and when it comes to you being a targeted individual, they're still selective. I've still had applied for certain jobs online within the past few days and got some rejection letters or rejection emails. So it's like it really. I mean, I don't understand why the government is so much about narcissistic control, where you know. I wish I would have known about that back then, about how years ago people were able to run a bit, and I talked about this before, how people were able to run a business and without government interference. And people supported each other back then. People bought from each other back then. And more people have the abilities to do this and that and do things. But nowadays, nobody really knows how to do gardening or growing fruit trees or canning and preserving food, sewing clothes. Nobody sews, well, hardly anybody sews clothes, or I don't even think people weave baskets anymore. And then nowadays, if somebody try to get their books out there, or if they try to get artwork sold, nobody wants to buy anybody's artwork unless you're already famous, and then people gravitate towards you. But if you're an average person on the street, it's a hard, and you haven't sold your soul, if you haven't sold out, it's almost, I mean, it seems like you will not survive. It's like you, as if you end up not being able to survive or make a living if you try to do artwork and try to sell it. Even at farmers markets, people just walk straight past you. But you know, I see some people at farmers markets that get way more popular, that work at farmers markets and sell, and they get way. And same thing with flea markets. They sell and get basically. I mean, they sell week after week, and all, and they have to. They get hardly any sales, while the booth right across from them is getting all the attention. And so, like a nice, humble Christian person that's selling carrots at the farmers market, if they're selling carrots, radishes, celery, bell peppers, onions, ginger, and just selling all kinds of things, you know, they get hardly much or nothing, and then they're, nice and smiling and stuff. But the next person, I mean, the person right across from them, that's a narcissistic asshole. Oh, and a person could be nice and selling their stuff for cheap, but the narcissistic asshole right across selling just nothing but oranges, oranges and avocado right across. And I mean, you're just selling oranges and avocados overpriced, and then you're a narcissistic asshole, and then everybody gravitates towards them and runs to them. And the same kind of stuff happened at flea markets. But I never got to go to the flea market here in Pensacola metro area, in Pensacola, mainland Pensacola, because they have that scam, that homeless shelter scam. The lady who runs that scam called homeless shelter, and I and the cult followers over there at that what they falsely call heavenly blessings, um that lady, they want to falsely demand that you call her Pastor Renee. I'm not calling any woman pastor. So and then she sends other she sends her cult followers to come after you, like as if you owe her drug money or something. So I mean, and that's why I had never gone to the flea market in Pensacola, but I think it's on W Street in Pensacola. But I damn sure miss the flea markets and the farmers markets. I mean, they got the farmers markets running back up again, but I really do miss getting, like, when I was in Greenville, South Carolina. I saw a few people who would take the bus and go sell stuff at the farmers market, and I never had enough money extra to be able to generate something to sell. But I looked into it. I mean, I heard all you needed was like $10 for a booth, and you could be selling stuff. But in I mean, but in New Orleans, my hometown, when I try to inquire about selling at the flea markets, um, same situation. But I think their tables were like $30 and $40. But I looked around, and our American people, black or white, they would go week after week, weekend after weekend at the flea market and trying to sell stuff and get no sales, while the illegals and Hispanics, they all served their people and they just basically hijacked and took over. And people said that the flea markets, the Algiers flea market on the West Bank, that's basically borderline between Algiers and Gretna and Terrytown, that Algiers flea market, the Hispanics would treat me mean, even if they were from Honduras. I was not welcome or allowed to. They treated me like they didn't want me to even buy their stuff. So in Los Angeles, they had all those people selling stuff along Venice Beach, and I try to. People act like they didn't want to give me any information or try to help me out, or how I could go and get like a little square and set up and go sell things. You know, when I was living in Los Angeles and trying to go to Venice Beach. I mean, they always had people selling stuff in Los Angeles, and then in Los Angeles, the illegals and Hispanics can sell stuff, and damn well they ain't got no permit. But let a black person try to sell something, especially without a permit, and all their stuff gets confiscated, and then they get arrested and go to jail. Or if they do have a permit, nobody buys their things. It's like the Hispanics, legal or not, they all look out for each other, and they won't support us black people. They won't support us. And it's the same thing with Asian markets. You know, you ain't gonna catch an Asian person going into a black person's business and go as a customer and go buy something. But these Asians and Middle Eastern people come set up shop, and in my hometown, New Orleans, the Seventh Ward in New Orleans, and I'm pretty sure other places too, they have those Middle Eastern Arab people from Jordan or um somewhere in the Middle East, and and they treat blacks. They sell like meat, or they have like a convenience store where they sell meat, and um also convenience store items plus like a butcher shop. Excuse me. And 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 then even people from India, you go to an Indian grocery store. And in Greenville, South Carolina, I had, like, there was a man who was skin color, he was from India or whatever, but his skin color was dark, way darker than mine. And he would be like on my heels following me throughout the whole store. And it's like they treat you with prejudice, at when it's like foreign people coming to America and sell in black neighborhoods, sometimes black neighborhoods or black and Latino neighborhoods, and sell. I mean, it was the talk in Los Angeles about how they would sell um They would sell junk Chinese food for a low price, and I heard that the Asian, they even admitted to me that they themselves don't even eat that food, but they feed it to us, and it'd be like high MSG in the food that they put deliberately. But in Greenville, South Carolina, there was an Asian market that they advertised that they did not put MSG in their food. So in New Orleans, and it seems like when I was in New Orleans, it seems like those Middle Eastern people, they seemed like they were glad to perk and had perk mentality. And I remember going into the store with the biological sister, that retard Ramona, and um, I got into a couple of arguments with those Middle Eastern guys at the convenience store. I think the store was called Richards, because the other store, Brooks, they tore that store down. But you go, they try to act like a thug themselves, but barely know English, and they sell these products and stuff and treat us like a criminal or whatever. And also the convenience store and butcher shop like Brooks and Richards and stuff in the Seventh Ward in New Orleans, they would sell certain dinner plates, and certain places you go, you in New Orleans, you can go and buy a whole damn breakfast for $1 or $2, and they'll fill you up. So, and that was in years 2017, 2018. Imagine getting these times, getting like a breakfast with some grits, eggs, toast, and sausage, or bacon or ham or whatever, all for $1.99, and it fill you up. So, I mean, or you can get like a fried shrimp burger, like a fried shrimp sandwich on hamburger bun, and dress it how you want for like $3.99. And sometimes, I guess they might give you a combo with chips and a drink for maybe $1 more. I don't remember how it was, but it's like I say all the time, how do if it seems like as if they have people from foreign countries come here to America, and they come here to America and they can have a better life than us Americans, while we Americans are struggling. But they were poor and struggling and suffering in their country. And then they come here and get big headed and arrogant and prejudiced and disrespectful to us in our own country, in our own homeland, where we probably couldn't even get away with doing that to them. So, and then they have certain black people say that you're a fool. Like they've told me that I would be a fool to buy food from Mexicans or Hispanics or Asian people if they don't like us. And they have zero problem with treating us like shit. So but it's hard to find American owned businesses for Americans by Americans now, or maybe for society by Americans nowadays. But it seems like the people who are already rich got successful businesses. Okay, now it's after midnight right now. I guess it's 12:03 a.m. in the morning on Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. So I apologize if anybody gets offended by what I'm talking about in this video. I mean I still, I remember when, I think I talked about this before, when I went to go see David Jane when I was living in when I went back to visit Los Angeles in 2018, and I was homeless on the streets, stranded out there, and I feel like I never want to go back to LA ever again. but I was stranded on the streets in LA after all my stuff got stolen. And so they had a guy at that Indian store who just randomly kicked me out of the store without explanation for no reason at all the instant I walked in there. And so me being homeless, I don't even lug around a lot of stuff either. I try to keep one book bag and and so I've gone to that place before a few times and was treated okay, but I don't. I mean, it seems like people from foreign countries, especially in Los Angeles, they treat you like the worst piece of animal. The way they treat us, black people, like you set up shop. You're Asian or Hispanic and should set up, or Middle Eastern, you set up shop in or Indian from India, and you set up shop in an all black neighborhood, and then act and then treat us all like criminals. And then I'm glad that I finally went to another Indian store. The food costed a little more, but the people very much welcomed me, and I think I remember, I could be wrong, but I think they didn't even charge me for that food, and they treated me like, I was super welcome there. The next restaurant that I went to, Indian place that I went to, so me, I'm a black female who likes to try out, I like to eat. I've always been fascinated with different cultures, languages, and people and races and everything. Ever since I was a little kid, I always, was fascinated with different, cultures and ethnicities and races and stuff. And so I like to try, different cuisines. Like shucks, I think the best cuisine that I've tried so far in my life was Brazilian barbecue in Los Angeles. Man, 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 man. Ooh. But I couldn't really afford it, but I only got to try it like maybe once or twice maybe once in my life. And that was at that mall place. Can't think of the name of it, by 3rd and Fairfax in Los Angeles, near Whole Foods. I think that there's a movie theater, and I forgot what that market. It's kind of like the Grand Central Market downtown, but it's not downtown, but it's a different one, but I can't think of the name of it. And it had like these different, it was set up like Grand Central Market, except everything was fresher and more expensive. But you were guaranteed at that place to get you some grass-fed meat, but it'd be like $6 a pound, and grass-fed beef, or you can, and or you can get you some free-range chicken. Who the hell is that? It's right after midnight. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, what the hell was that? Um, these ghetto gang stalking kids Um, one of them was wearing a burgundy shirt, and it seemed like as if they drove right by my motel room door just to make noise and act a fool. And I don't even think they stay here. And they acted a fool and getting all loud and clowning around and laughing. And then the moment I walked outside, they hurried up and got it was a white GMC Terrain and brand new. And those girls looked like they were like 19, 20 years old. I had zero access to a car at 20 years old. And I'm 38 years old now and have no way to get, even just to drive a car for the day. I have no way to get a car. I don't even have, and then some people be like, well, you don't have any friends you can borrow their car? My own family don't even, they just, I mean, it's not that my family don't trust me, they just fucking mean and abusing their so-called power. But my family, they're the type of person who would do something cruel and fucked up to my car. So I didn't mean to change the topic, but that was street theater, I guess, what they did. But I didn't even get to, I'm didn't even get to grab my phone and go and see what they were doing. But that was unnecessary. I mean, y'all just like drive near my out of all places, and then y'all heard the next door neighbor. Y'all heard her dog bark. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are y'all doing? And of course, as I said, the girl, her up and she had on a burgundy jogging a burgundy sweatshirt, and hurry up and ran to the driver's seat or something like that. Ran from the right side all the way to the left, and they heard like the moment I opened my door, they hurry up and got in the vehicle and went and drove off. So I think the guest with the other white SUV, um, I think they left yesterday morning because now, like last night and tonight, I hear basically nothing. So it's past midnight, so I didn't want this video to be too much longer. Um, so right now I'm feeling kind of wide awake. I'm not even sleepy or tired, but there have certain moments where I feel so sleepy. A week or two ago, when I thought that had these fears that I was gonna die in my sleep or something, and then try to fight it, and then but I mean I end up being okay. But I don't know if the direct energy weapons implant those fears inside of me. But um I mean, my reason for doing this video right now, I was wondering, basically trying to see about how to, I mean, I just got out the shower not long ago, but I was trying to see how I can, I mean, what can I do? What can I do? The idea that some people say stop being a slave and, don't work for other people and get your own job. But I'm like feeling helpless and clueless of, how to get my own job and hire myself. But I know the gang stalkers will sabotage that. It could work for normal people, but if you're a targeted individual, they'll make sure you ain't can't survive. So excuse me. So they'll make sure you can't survive, and yeah, I mean, it's like I need something before Friday, or else I'll end up back on the streets again. And earlier today, it was 5 o'clock right after I woke up from my nap, and it was cold and rainy. It was cold and rainy. So it was cold and rainy. So it's like I'm sitting here thinking that Friday, if I have to leave, then that means I got a lot of food. I got a lot of food and some cleaning items that I would have to throw, like cleaning products and food and stuff that I would have no choice but to throw away. I would have all that stuff to throw away. Because remember, I mean, I got those gift cards from the school, and then this agency gave me some two more gift cards for some food. They said for me to go to Walmart and take the gift cards and go buy it on food. And it was two gift cards of $25 each, in addition to the other stuff. So so I myself don't. I heard that the school system is like a school to prison pipeline rather than success. I heard that they basically set children up to. I heard that they set the school system is basically set children up to basically groom and prepare them for prison rather than careerism and success. And so, I mean, y'all can look that up, the school to prison pipeline, and they have the prison industrial complex. So basically, they indoctrinate and brainwash kids in school, and it's worse nowadays than what it was when we were in school. The Common Core curriculum, which is actually communist brainwashing, communist and atheism, and take God out of, and prayer out of the schools. So nowadays, I hear, from my Illuminati research a few years ago, I read that, you know, like, how come, I mean, courses like home economics was not considered a mandatory course, but nah, they make useless fake history and all that mandatory. So they give us a wrong version of history, math, and everything just to dumb us down. And it's really, I mean, nowadays the stuff that they teach in school, it doesn't even make sense nowadays. So they're really brainwashing and preparing and indoctrinating the kids for the new world order. And I've been hearing throughout my conspiracy knowledge years that children are brainwashed to stalk and spy on their parents and then go back to the school and report things to their teachers and stuff like that. And so I'm hearing, like, basically back then people used to say don't talk to strangers, but here parents send their kids off. The teachers are strangers, other kids are strangers. They said that the television in your house and the radio is in your house is basically strangers in your house, because these celebrities, we don't know them personally, and we think we know them, but once you get them to know them personally, they are not what you think. And these celebrities, you can't get close to them because they'll have your ass sacrificed. So almost nobody can be trusted these days. Almost everybody think they're doing the right thing by being evil, wicked, and dirty, and that they think that's the right way to go. So I'm praying for something miraculous. I mean, and some people say that a homeless person raising money for charity basically is pointless because they want you to have like monthly income of a certain amount. But I wonder, say for example, if not necessarily me, but any other homeless person, if there's a place for rent for $700 and the landlord want first and last month's rent, but the homeless person doesn't even have an income. What if that person raises, you know, damn, like, let's see, 700 times 12. Yikes. Is that like 8,400? Is my math correct? $8,400. So 84 plus. I mean, I don't know if they had like 8,400 plus the deposit, that much of money up front to the landlord. If the landlord, I mean, if a person had like $10,000 and say, and a landlord that's renting 700 a month, I mean, would that landlord refuse that $10,000 from that homeless person that raised GoFundMe money or money from another fundraising charity or something? I mean, what would the landlord do? So I thought about that when I was in the shower a little while ago. But I remember the fake foster mom got mad at me when I was living in New Orleans Towers, and the rent was 30% of your income. So my rent was like $129 at that time, and I was on SSI and Social Security, and it was a low income disabled place. Remember I told y'all the low income place, disabled place right behind me, they acted a certain kind of funny. That low income elderly and disabled place right behind me, they acted a certain kind of funny. So I tried to get into that place, and that place was like 30% of your income or somewhere around there too. And it's like that place right behind us, you know, they didn't want to accept me. But one time the fake foster mom got mad at me just for even talking about paying rent, 3 months of rent in advance. And she got mad and yelled at me about that. And I had a little extra money, student loan money at that time, or grant money. I don't remember if it was grant or loan money, but she got mad and went off on me with that. I mean, she really, I mean, I was on my own, and she was still trying to control my life and control my finances and control my decisions and everything like that. Control what I wear and how I wear my hair. Control who I can be friends with, or control who I can let in my own place where I was living at. But I didn't even realize I was even being gang stalked at New Orleans Towers. And so at New Orleans Towers, I just got there, and that was my first apartment on my own. And I fought tooth and nail to get away from the fake foster mom and get on my own. And the foster mom didn't think I was mentally capable. But you sent me off to college though, and I was living in a dorm by myself, and I told y'all about how the foster mom had the college dorm kids stalking and spying on me and reporting and the house mom stalking and spying and reporting everything back to her. When the foster mom would pick me up for holidays, and then those girls that were part of the Delta Sigma Theta and all those sororities, they would go and tell the foster mom, pretty much everything I did or said, or when the foster mom would pick me up for mental health doctor's appointments. She would pick me up for mental health doctor's appointments, and then and then the foster mom would be gossiping and discussing with the house mom about me. That the dorm room house mom is what the woman, the elderly woman who oversees the dorm, over, like, not necessarily security guard, but y'all know what I mean. Like the college dorms, they'll have like a house mom and stuff like that during overnight, but then and earlier in the morning. But then later on during the day they have like the RA, meaning like the resident assistant and stuff like that. So in those dorms, I was being gang stalked at Nicholls State University. I was 18, 19 years old, didn't even realize it. I had no clue what was going on, and I was forced to see a psychiatrist and take medicine. Trazodone used to have me sleep 15 hours a day. And, everybody, pretty much almost everybody in the dorm room hated my guts. you know, so, and they treated me like a punished child with no rights and think they can discipline and handle me. And so, I feel like my life is cursed because it's like I'm 38 years old, no freedom, no rights, not allowed to do what I want, and not allowed to do what I want, not allowed to say what I want, and not allowed to have free will. That everybody wants to control me, and when they can't succeed at controlling me, then they kick me to the curb, and then therefore I end up, being non-existent to that person. So I really, I mean, because I'm sitting here like I've been seeing a lot of people saying stock up, prepare, and I don't have much of a means to do it if I have to leave on Friday, possibly, I don't know, but probably have to leave on Friday morning and go put all my stuff back in the store. Well, throw all the food I have away and put all that stuff back in the storage unit and then be back on the streets. And I'm hearing about Russia and China and Israel and Ukraine and certain countries preparing for World War III. And I've been hearing since like 2011, 12, 13 that when Israel strikes Iran, then World War III will start. I've been hearing the conspiracy people say that. And I've been hearing also about Russian, Chinese, and Korean troops to to come who will be New World Order super soldiers to come and kick our door down and drag us out of our houses and throw us in FEMA camps, and they have martial law in World War III. And some Christians will say that it's the tribulation. And I'm hearing about this dark winter coming, right? Like we thought it was last year, but I hear about this dark winter to prepare for dark winter. And I really don't have permanent housing, or I don't have a way to prepare. And I'm a single female by myself. I'm disabled. And so I'm hearing people say that for martial law and World War III or this dark winter or whatever is going on, that the New World Order super soldiers, the Russian and Chinese troops or whatever other troops are going to come kick our door down and drag us out of our homes and throw us in FEMA camps. But I heard that I've been also hearing that there's the red list and the blue list and some other kinds of lists with the New World Order rainbow. And then I've been hearing about Project Bluebeam that they said was supposed to be a fake rapture. The Project Bluebeam they said was supposed to be predicted to happen in 2012, but it didn't happen. And some people said, well, it might happen in 2021. But you know, um, for Project Bluebeam, they thought it was supposed to be for the Olympics and at the 2012 Olympics, but it didn't happen. It like a Project Bluebeam, the fake alien invasion, and we've been hearing about the zombie apocalypse and stuff. The fake alien invasion, and And so to like Christians will be fooled into thinking Project Bluebeam will be the rapture. And I heard that basically, I mean, and it's funny because they have these narcissistic fake Christian sinners who act like they think they're holier than thou, and they say, "Oh, all you gotta believe, all you gotta do is just believe, and then you'll go to heaven. You don't have to stop sinning or nothing. Then you'll go to heaven." Or they say, "Oh, you're a demon because you're preaching works salvation, and your works ain't gonna get you into heaven," and stuff like that. When we do have, I know we do have to stop sinning. I haven't stopped, but it's a struggle. It's hard, and we can't do it on our own. We need Jesus Christ, and we're not perfect, but I know we gotta believe in Jesus and stop sinning and to love everybody and try to not hurt nobody. But it's so hard. But I heard rumors about stories of people saying that if you got a red sticker on your on a if you got a red sticker, then you on a red list. Like if you got a red sticker on your mailbox, but if you got a blue sticker, you on the blue list. So I heard that targeted individuals are on the red list. But hey, we on a red list and we took that red pill and we conspiracy minded. We know the truth. We know what's going on. We get persecuted for speaking out against what's going on. And so I guess that makes sense. Red pill, red list, and blue pill, blue list, and blue pill, blue list that people will be like willing slaves. But you know what? I think if they were receptive to the truth, then they would fight. But I guess not everybody can receive the truth, and not everybody can handle the truth. And certain truths I had and still have difficulty grasping, or is disturbing. Such thing as celebrity cloning and transgenderism, the stuff what they put in our food. They try to have humans force cannibalizing without realizing with that putting human meat in McDonald's and other fast food and stuff. And so certain foods I have to be careful. Packaged foods that I have to be careful. You know, and so it's like, what the hell are we supposed to eat? What are we supposed to eat? So I'm trying to not talk too loud since it's after midnight, and you know, I was talking a little loud earlier and getting excited and didn't realize, so I have to try to make a conscious decision to not be so loud. And my voice elevates when my when I get excited and my Tourette's kick in and I don't even realize it. But right now I'm trying to not talk too loud. But look at my elbows. My elbows used to be so dark and so black, and they used to be peeling. But I don't know what I'm doing right. Now my elbow on the right side seems like it's a little bit ashy. But I remember they would have certain times when my elbows will be all crusty and peeling and rough and stuff. But now my elbows feel smooth. They feel kind of smooth, and they're not as dark as they used to be. So still have this scar. I don't think y'all can see it, but I have a scar. Wait, right here on my arm, and I remember that scar from I think I was 3 years old, and the foster grandma Mildred Collins, her cat Calico had scratched me, and I still had that scar. And then this other scar on my arm, it's kind of dark right here, and I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I remember the incident somewhat. and I was super little. I could have been 4 years old, and I think this happened at the daycare, the nursery, the learning tree. And then I remember I still had the scars on my leg from when I was 7 years old. And the biological gay brother Mark, he had deliberately burned my leg with super hot, boiling hot water, and he didn't even get that much punished for that. He didn't even get in all that much trouble for doing that to me, and he did it on purpose. He was about yeah we were 7 and he's 10 years older than us, so he probably was like about 17. I don't know, but I still got the scar on my leg. But was 3 scars on my legs, and I got a couple of scars on both legs. I think I still have them. Wait a minute. Ooh, it looks like one of them kind of cleared up on one leg. And let me see the other leg. I had a couple of scars from, yeah, I think on my right leg, there's a little scar from, on my right leg, there's a little scar, and I had a scar on both legs from when I was living in Los Angeles, and I jumped. I mean, diving off the diving board, and I scraped myself at 2 different times on each leg. But so yeah, um, really, I mean, they trying to make it so hard for you to try to work at home or work from home, or have something you can do online, and then they try to make these so-called gigs look easy, like a piece of cake, but it's actually very hard, and it seems like you get false hopes. So Appen has not recommended me anything really since since that little introductory questionnaire. And I said that I realized that surveys are a waste of time. um and I don't have patience with surveys, especially when I'm sleep deprived. I don't have patience with surveys, with filling out surveys and stuff. So I'm sitting here, just like I tried last week, I'm trying again this week to try to figure out what could I do. What could I do to save myself from being back on the streets this Friday? I mean, and it's gonna be the day before what they call Christmas, and it's like I thought that people would have more compassion for helping. I thought society would have more compassion for the idea of preventing a single woman from being on the streets. But it seems like in my case, people want me on the streets, and they think I deserve it as a punishment. I guess, me being on the streets is supposed to be my form of jail or prison. I mean, I remember, earlier this year I had this big battle with the gang, and this year and last year that the gang stalkers so badly did not want me in motel and hotel rooms. Well, how come other targeted individuals can be in hotel and motel rooms, but I'm the only one that's not allowed? And you didn't donate me that money for a hotel room, so who are you to say that I can't go at that hotel? And how does that affect you? You know, me having up a GoFundMe or whatever other fundraiser is not taking any money out of your bank account. You know, and I mean, so it seems like as if these narcissistic gang stalkers and trolls use the internet. You know, they use the internet for their atrocities and stuff that people say that they wouldn't have the guts to do this to people in person. The stuff that's done and said online, people have been saying all these years that people, the internet and social media has created idea that, to make people more cruel, heartless, and uncaring and stuff. Because back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, people cared about each other more. And, there was some abuse and some fighting, but people cared about each other more. People weren't as selfish. I mean, even though some people used to complain with about block parties and stuff like that, but back then they used to have block parties and people used to have a good time. But I got a certain age and I don't know what contributed to me ending up having hypersensitive ears and noise hurts my ears. And people think I'm estranged for being a black person who can't tolerate noise. That is a disability and condition that I have. And I believe it's due to somewhere in my teenage or childhood years of foster care experimentation or part of the gang stalking of why my ears are so sensitive. And I don't know if I'm microchipped or not. I don't know if I'm microchipped. So, um, I don't know if I'm microchipped or not, but I heard that a person would have hypersensitive ears from either psych meds or from braces, or they say poor orthodontic work, or another way. I heard that if you had nose surgery, I heard that people that nose surgery patients end up being microchipped against their consent and knowledge, and then that's how they walk around with hypersensitive ears. But I think I do remember since as early as 4 or 5 years old, off and on hearing the high pitched ringing in my ears. So, um, yeah. But as I said, I thought people would have more compassion and would have wanted to protect a single woman, especially somebody that's disabled. I thought people would want to be more protective of a single woman being on the streets. And I wish people would be more compassionate and understanding about workplace mobbing and community mobbing and neighborhood bullying, neighborhood mobbing and gang stalking. It's all real. But, I'm just trying to, I mean, I don't have a way to get a car at all, no access to a vehicle, but I do have a license. Um, I do have a license. And, but I mean, I would have to, I mean, and they left me alone for a while, and they just started back up a few days ago with that sleep depriving me. This is so diabolical and cruel. And I mean, they started back up with the sleep deprivation and the gang stalking. I mean, the sleep. I'm sorry. I meant to say the sleep deprivation and the vibrating. But I heard some people who say that they were targeting individuals that they were targeted living with family members or targeted living in a certain city and state, and then said that all gang stalking stopped when they left such and such city and state. But that's not true, because I've heard certain targeted individuals who bounced around from even country to country and still being heavily targeted around the world. So, but they have other targeted individuals who I see they drive nice cars and have a house, own a house already paid off, and own a business and run a business, and they ignore me when I ask them, if they can point me in the right direction or help me get a way to run a business or operate a business or something, you know. So, or they ignore me and leave me hanging. But I know some so-called targeted individuals who said that they, and some of them are way younger than me, and they can own business. I'm hearing a right high pitch ring in my right ear for a split second just now. So I mean, I'm sitting here wondering, like, I I'm hearing about how the government gonna come and drag us out of our houses and confiscate. I mean, I've been hearing even before Obama, they had the executive orders about how basically during martial law and stuff, the government could come and snatch you out of your house, and they can take your food, your car. And they already say you own nothing. They say that the car you have, the car and the house that you have, that you don't own it because you got to pay property taxes on it. And the fact that you got to pay property taxes on it is proof that you're a slave. And people say that basically you really don't own it, because they say that the government can come and confiscate it even after it's paid off. For some reason, you still got to pay. If you don't pay property taxes, then on a house, car, or whatever, boats or whatever else is valuable, that the government could come and confiscate it. Or people pay property tax on the business that they own also. But people want to keep me a forced, helpless, infantilized, dependent child, and I'm not even allowed to learn something different. So I'm sitting here wondering, well, if they're supposed to have this dark winter or World War III or lights out and we got to prepare, and I'm still trying to, clueless about what to do in my situation, you know, and it's like even last year, 2020, I was wondering, well, me being out on the streets, if anything would have happened to me, you know, people straight up told me that they didn't care about me, or that nobody was gonna care about me, or that they were too focused on their own situation to care about. Narcissistic abusers always tell you that nobody cares about you, or they say that, oh, I got so much going on my own, I ain't got time to worry about you. But I know that during tough times, like during chaos, I remember during Hurricane Katrina what happened. So like if there's like a chaos going on, everybody be so busy fighting for their own life to care about another person's life. And so, dealing with some people who already prepped up or whatever, some people say that there's no excuse, but what in my situation, I don't have any place to put anything. I mean, a storage unit during a lockdown, if we're under lockdown or something, I may not be able to access my storage unit, and I don't have a vehicle. So if I had a permanent place and we were on lockdown, I can access what I need to survive. And I didn't realize that I had certain, well, I mean, I was forced to throw away all my food or give away and get rid of all my food with the storage unit. They won't even allow you a canister of salt. But when I was, in Gretna, Louisiana, at the storage unit, I was allowed to have non-perishable food stock up in there. But now I don't have any food at all and can't have any food at all in the storage unit that I have now. And that was about the only one I was able to get. So it's very hard. I didn't even realize, it's so hard, and I know other people have in this predicament too, to have not nowhere to go, or I mean, and basically heard a situation about, the topic of, like, people say that you can learn prepping and survival techniques and skills from the homeless, because being homeless, especially on the streets, every single day is a shit hit the fan moment. You know, trying to survive day to day. And and so and it's like people hate me for refusing to do something crooked to survive. I already get humiliated and degraded and stuff. One of my brothers, I'm not gonna say who it was homeless and was offered, women try to use him to sleep with them when he was homeless, and they were trying to, sexually take advantage of him and stuff like that. And so I think that when a person is homeless, especially when they just got survival mode, one of the last things that's usually on their mind would be sex. But they got people who just want to sexually exploit homeless people, or make it like you have to do something sexual with them in order for a roof over your head. And they don't even give a person these offers. I never took them, of course, but these offers made to me, like, one guy wanted me to be like a live-in sex partner and charge me $400 a month of rent. Hell no. And then got mad when I didn't want to take his offer. And it's like, that's one challenge. Another challenge when trying to seek for a room to rent on Craigslist, they got these narcissistic exploitative predators who want to demand that you be their living sex slave and give them what they want, and they still want to charge you money to stay there with them. And I never took any of those offers, you know. And the idea of, me being on the streets and being dirty, it's like I'm on the streets and I'm dirty, and you're fresh and clean, and you got a brand new decent vehicle, and you're offering me to prostitute. But I don't want that. They try to make it like that's the only way I deserve a roof over my head, you know. And I don't want that at all. I'm 38 years old. You know, I have not brought any guests up in here since I've been here. Almost 3 months. I haven't brought a man in here, and I haven't brought a woman in here either. Not for those purposes, if you get what I mean. I don't have no guests. I don't have no guests in here. I'm just by myself. Um, I'm, even when I was on the streets, I had really nobody. I just off to myself. But you see me being gang stalked and harassed and abused. Alex Dupree, I don't. He been stalking and harassing and following me for over 2 years. And that other white guy and that black guy, the white guy that was at that chocolate shop downtown. Um, and he was the idiot who got me wrongfully banned from Bodacious. So, you know, that white guy been stalking, following, and harassing me for 2 years, and perping me for 2 years. And he would gang stalk me at basically everywhere. Alex would gang stalk me except UWF campus, the bus, and the beach. But he would gang stalk me at the mall or near the mall, just like Alex. He even got a job at the mall just to gang stalk me, and I was going there every day. And then it was, yeah, the last time I got a haircut, I was walking to get my haircut, and he was coming from getting his haircut in the mall. And then that narcissistic ghetto gang stalking barber had cheated. He you know he jipped my hair and overcharged me. He jipped my hair and overcharged me $5 more than what he was supposed to. And then try to say these are my signature prices or whatever he was trying to say. I don't remember, but he tried to make it like he had his own specialized, overcharging me, and then trying to act like he wanted to brainwash or convince me that he's giving me a deal. But that's what they do. When you can't get your hair done or your hair cut by a gang stalker, somebody who's a female witch, like you wouldn't know until after you get your hair cut. I mean, or while you get your hair cut. Now, let me tell you the story. It was 2007. My hair was long. They had a Vietnamese female who I went to get my hair straightened, and my hair was long. And I went to her, and she initially charged me $30. Well, said the price was $30. And as time went on with her doing my hair, she kept raising the prices, and then after a while, after everything was done, then she said it was $130, and then forced me to pay her $130. And then of course and she screwed my hair up. So then I ended up feeling like going into a like suicidal freaking depression from her doing that to me. You know, and these narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic gang stalkers, they take advantage of you, and then society blames you. If you get cheated out of your money with getting your hair done, buying a car or some business or service, or if you get raped, then you get raped sexually, then they're making like it's your fault. You put yourself in a position and you allow it to happen, or that you're not a victim, and that they saw you coming, and that you should have had more discernment. Just victim blaming and trying to make you, and then you feel like you ain't got nobody on your side. So I remember being screwed over super bad with that car in 2007 also. And kind of think about it, that Justin Adams guy in 2007, he was a narcissistic perp who was younger than me. and cheated and scammed me with the car, and I didn't realize I would have never knowingly bought a car that somebody stole. But I didn't realize until after I tried to get the car registered and stuff like that. I didn't realize that they said it was a stolen car with a lien on it or something like that, and it had like over 115 miles. And then I was depressed for a long time in 2007 because it's like I had a car in my driveway that I could not drive, and he took out the timing belt of the car. And then every time I went to try to get the car fixed, there were more gang stalkers um, in Denton, Texas. And I went to get the car, try to get the car fixed, and they charged me $445 each time, and never fixed the car. And the car, they broke the car even more. And after the third time, I didn't go back to them no more. And it's like, I mean, just so much heartache and all these, and then I have to be told that I'm the one, with the mental disorder or the mental problem when they have all these crooks that can just get away with screwing people over. And when I bought the Hyundai Elantra, I got screwed over too by a narcissistic, extremely controlling car salesman. And the foster mom herself set me up to get that car repossessed. I had the car for over a year. Oh man, they are hitting me in my heart with the energy weapons. Just random out of a sudden hit me. And they were shocking my foot just like about 5 minutes ago. Now they hit me in the heart and my head at the same time. And I've been feeling this weird pain in the back of my head. So, I mean, and it's like you get screwed over with every business and transaction. And I didn't realize they were all gang stalkers. And then you get told that you deserve to be screwed over. But how come when another person buy a car, how come they don't deserve it? But they don't tell me what I did to be worthy to deserve this to happen to me. You know, so and nowadays I can't even get simple food without being cheated and cheated and overcharged and scammed. And each and every time you get taken advantage of or used or bullied, you always get told that it's your fault. And it's like, when am I ever gonna be right? You, you know. So it seems like at the taco restaurant, a couple of doors down, they had the best Mexican food that I've tasted. Well, yeah, pretty much the best Mexican food that I've tasted. But almost every time I go there, not every single time, but almost every time I go there, I get perked there, and that's considered a local restaurant. And they're back to trying to shock my toes on the right foot. So it's a little bit after 1 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I just want praying about. I'm feeling worried and scared about ending up back on the streets on Friday on Christmas Eve. You know, excuse me. So I'm really scared about what to do. So thanks for listening. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Well, later today.